The kiss wasn't long. It wasn't heated or passionate or wild. But it lingered, in the air, on their lips, behind the eyes. When Tihiang pulled away, Jungkook didn't move. He stood there like the moment had wrapped around him, like if he spoke, it would all disappear. "You kissed me back," Tihiang said quietly. Jungkook finally blinked. "Yeah, does that mean anything to you?" Jungkook's brows furrowed. "I don't know," Tihiang nodded, heart aching. "Okay," but he didn't leave. And Jungkook didn't ask him though. The next morning breakfast was awkward. Jiho babbled about a field trip while Tihiang cooked and Jungkook avoided eye contact. The moment from last night hung between them like fog. "I can take Jiho to school today," Tihiang offered, breaking the silence. "You don't have to, I want to," he repeated, just like he had when Jiho called him Papatai for the first time. Jungkook hesitated, then nodded. Tihiang kissed Jiho's forehead and led him out the door. Jungkook stood at the window, watching them leave. Watching the man who wasn't supposed to matter start meaning too much. Later that day Jungkook was at the flower shop when he saw her. Jiho's mother. She didn't notice him, laughing, holding a bouquet, her arm linked with someone else's. It had been over 4 years, but she still looked exactly the same. Unbothered. Free. And Jungkook? He was still haunted by the night she walked out with a suitcase and said, "I'm not meant to be anyone's mother." That night Jungkook sat on the porch steps, hands clenched, trying to breathe. He didn't hear the door open. Didn't know Tihiang was there until a warm hand touched his shoulder. "She didn't even look like she missed him," Jungkook muttered. "You saw her at the flower shop." Tihiang sat beside him, silent. "I don't hate her," Jungkook whispered. "But sometimes I wish I could. She doesn't deserve him," Tihiang said softly. "She doesn't even ask about him." Jungkook turned to him, eyes stormy. "Do you ever feel like you're the only one fighting?" Tihiang looked at him. "All the time," their eyes locked. And slowly, Jungkook leaned in again. This time it wasn't hesitant. It was quiet longing. It was the kind of kiss that didn't ask permission, because it already knew the answer. When they parted, Jungkook exhaled shakily. "I'm scared of falling." Taehyung's voice was firm. "Then I'll catch you." The morning after their second kiss, Jungkook woke up alone. The side of the bed where Taehyung usually slept was empty, the sheets still cool. For some reason, it made his heart sink, the absence louder than any words. He padded into the living room, expecting to find Jiho watching cartoons. Instead, it was quiet. Tihiang was outside on the balcony, arms crossed, eyes lost in the grey sky. "Couldn't sleep?" Jungkook asked. Tihiang didn't turn. "I went for a walk. Had some things on my mind." Jungkook stepped closer. "What kind of things?" Tihiang's voice was low. "The kind I haven't told anyone in a long time." Jungkook waited. "I used to think I wasn't made to be part of a family," Tihiang began. "My father, he left when I was young. My mother tried her best, but I grew up learning that people don't stay. That no matter how much you love someone, it's not enough to make them stay." Jungkook's chest tightened. "I don't want to do that to Jiho," Tihiang whispered. "I don't want to love him halfway, love him and leave him. That scares me." Jungkook reached out, gently brushing Tihiang's hand. "You're nothing like your father." Tihiang finally looked at him. "How do you know?" "Because you're still here," Jungkook said softly. "And that's more than I ever expected from anyone." Later that day, Jungkook watched Tihiang help Jeho tie his shoelaces before school. The way Jeho grinned up at him, arms flung around Taehyung's neck in a hug that nearly knocked him over, it did something to Jungkook. Something warm. Something terrifying. He wasn't supposed to fall in love. Not after everything. But here was this man, fixing leaks, building Lego towers, kissing him on stormy nights, showing up when no one else ever had. Maybe love didn't always enter loudly. Maybe sometimes it tiptoed in through quiet acts of staying. That evening Jungkook sat on the couch, fidgeting with the sleeve of his hoodie. "Tihiang," he called, voice unsure. Tihiang looked up from the kitchen. "Do you think we're pretending anymore?" Tihiang dried his hands and crossed the room slowly. "No. Not for a while now." Silence. And then Jungkook said it, quiet, but clear. "I think I'm falling in love with you." Tihiang froze. Then whispered back, "Then let me fall with you." The confession still echoed in the walls of their shared home. "I think I'm falling in love with you. Then let me fall with you." But reality wasn't a fairy tale. It didn't give time to savor quiet beginnings. The knock came late in the evening, sharp, unexpected. Jeho was in bed, curled up with a stuffed dinosaur Tihiang had bought him last week. Jungkook opened the door, and froze. A woman stood there, dressed in a tailor coat, silver strands streaking her sleek dark hair, and eyes that mirrored Tihiang's exactly. "Hello," she said calmly. "I'm Tihiang's mother." Tihiang's body stiffened behind Jungkook. "What are you doing here? I heard you got married," she said. "Figured I'd meet the one who made you forget your family." Jungkook stepped aside awkwardly, unsure what to do. "I didn't forget," Tihiang said tightly. "You told me I wasn't meant to have one." She walked inside like she owned the place. "And yet here you are, playing house." Later that night Jungkook found Tihiang sitting on the edge of the bed, jaw clenched, fingers buried in his hair. "She left when I was 17, he said quietly. "Told me I was too much like my father. Cold. Distant. She never came to my graduation. Never called when I moved cities." Jungkook sat beside him, their knees brushing. "She came now because she wants something." "Do you?" Tihiang asked, voice suddenly raw. "Do you want something from me too, Jungkook? Is this still just an arrangement to you?" Jungkook looked at him, really looked. "No," he whispered. "It's not. I want you. I want this life. Not just for Jeho, for me." Tihiang turned his face, eyes shining under the low lamplight. "You're the first home I've ever had," Jungkook added. And in that moment, nothing else mattered. Not estranged mothers, not past fears, not the pain of being left behind. Only the slow, real, terrifying beauty of falling in love for real. "Appa," Jeho asked one morning, spooning cereal into his mouth. "Did I come from your tummy?" Jungkook froze mid-pour of orange juice. Tihiang looked up from across the table, catching Jungkook's eyes, sensing the sudden tightness in the air. "No, baby," Jungkook said gently, sitting beside him. "Only mommies have tummies like that." Jeho nodded. "Then where is my mommy?" Silence. "That sharp, unwelcome kind." Tihiang opened his mouth, but Jungkook quietly touched his wrist under the table. "I'll handle this." He took a deep breath. "Your mommy, she loved you very much. But she couldn't stay." "Why?" "Because sometimes, grown-ups make choices that hurt even when they don't want them to. But I stayed. And now, Tihiang's here too. We're your family." Jeho stared at him, his little fingers gripping the cereal bowl. So you and Papa Tai are both my daddies now. Jungkook's throat tightened. Tihiang leaned in with a soft smile. If you want us to be, Jeho nodded and resumed eating, like the world made perfect sense again. That afternoon Jungkook stood at the window, watching Jeho play in the backyard, his chest aching. She left a letter, he said when Tihiang joined him. What, my ex? She left a letter when she left Jeho. Said she wasn't cut out to be a mother, that she was suffocating. I kept telling myself I was enough, that Jeho didn't need more, but sometimes I wonder if I broke trying to be both. Tihiang turned to him gently, his hand sliding over Jungkook's. You didn't break, he whispered. You became a father, a protector, everything he needed. Jungkook's voice cracked. And now, I don't know how to let someone else share that with me. You already are, Tihiang said. Every time you let me hold him. Every time you let me hold you, their foreheads rested together in the stillness. Jungkook whispered, don't let go, I'm not going anywhere. Meanwhile in a hotel across the city, Taehyung's mother sat at the edge of her bed, scrolling through her phone. A contact blinked at her screen. Lawyer Han. She pressed call. It's time, she said coldly. I want to challenge the marriage. My son is not thinking clearly, and he's putting the company legacy at risk. The knock at the door came mid-morning, sharp, precise, unsettling. Tihiang opened it to find a man in a crisp suit standing outside. Kim Tihiang, yes, you've been served. A sealed envelope was thrust into his hand. Jungkook stepped into the hallway just as the door shut, his brows furrowed. What is it? Tihiang opened it in silence, his eyes scanning the contents before they narrowed. He swallowed hard. It's from my mother, he said. She's filed for an annulment. Jungkook froze. She can do that. She's claiming the marriage was coerced. That it's damaging to the family's reputation and assets. She's trying to erase us, Jungkook. Taehyung's voice was steady, but his hands were shaking. Later that day I should have known she wouldn't let this go, Taehyung muttered, pacing the living room. It's always been about control with her. About appearances. Jungkook stood by the window, his jaw tight. What are we going to do? Tihiang looked at him, the pain in his eyes raw. I fight. Jungkook turned. You'll go against your own mother. She stopped being just my mother the moment she decided this. He gestured to their home, to Jeho sleeping peacefully on the couch. Was a problem to erase. Jungkook swallowed, voice low. You'd give up your inheritance for us. I'd give up everything, Tihiang said. Because this isn't just about a marriage contract anymore. This is about us. What we've built. What Jeho sees when he looks at me and calls me Papa. Jungkook stepped forward, therefore it's almost touching. You're sure? Tihiang cupped his cheek. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Meanwhile, in her private villa, Taehyung's mother poured herself a glass of wine, watching the headlines spread. Kim Corporation heir involved in scandalous legal battle with family. Let's see how long your resolve lasts, my son, she whispered coldly.